Okay, students of class 9, today we will learn about acceleration. What is acceleration, types of acceleration, and how we can get acceleration from velocity time graph. That is also very important. So what is acceleration and how acceleration is so important? That will be our main topic today. That will be our today's main topic to understand more about acceleration. So acceleration is actually the rate of change of velocity. When we call it to change the velocity, we have to apply a physical quantity, acceleration. How acceleration is produced? Actually, acceleration is produced with the help of force. Force can produce acceleration. Shut the door, close the door, off the fan. So when we talk about acceleration, to generally acceleration is defined as rate of change of velocity. How we can find acceleration from the velocity time graph? Slope of velocity time graph gives acceleration. Slope of velocity time graph gives acceleration. That is also very important. So let us go through in detail more about acceleration. पंखा बंद करके वहां बैठिए. So let us write first acceleration definition. Acceleration symbol E is defined as rate of change in velocity of the body. So we can say if any object was moving, when the observer observe the object, what he observed at t is equal to 0, that this vehicle was moving with u velocity. This is known as initial velocity, u. Initial velocity u, and then after time t, maybe after certain time, okay, after certain time, what happened? The velocity from u, it becomes v. This observation of the observer, this is known as final velocity. So here acceleration is acting. So how we can define acceleration? Change in velocity by time. Time rate of change. So acceleration is final velocity minus initial velocity by time. Or we can write final velocity v, initial velocity u, and time t. So this is a formula also used for numerical problem. This we can put in graph also. Okay, we can put this example in graph. velocity time graph. Okay, on x-axis it will be time taken, and on y-axis we will take velocity of the ball. So let us put in the graph. This is x-axis, and at initial time the velocity will be shown on y-axis. So velocity velocity on y-axis. So if you are showing initial velocity u at time t is equal to 0, so this point A gives the graph at 0 time velocity is u. What happens after time t? Time crosses, time passes, and maybe at time t velocity becomes v. So how we will show graph? We can show by taking this point B is actually the point which shows that at time t velocity is v. Now you can see this point A and B, if we are connecting, we can get velocity time graph. So AB is velocity time graph. This line AB is velocity time graph. And slope of this AB, slope means the angle the angle theta. If it is small, then slope is given as perpendicular by base. Maybe BD is perpendicular and base is AD. So BD by AD will be acceleration here given by this VT graph. So slope of velocity time graph, we have to get how it gives acceleration. That is also one important point. But I hope that you persons have understood how to draw the graph of velocity time. So here what we see, what will be BT? See, to find PD, first we should know what is this OC. OC, this is V. Okay, this is V whole, B is V. And what is this DE? D is OA equal to D U. Okay, so this is U, this is V. So this will be BD will be V minus U. This will be V minus U. BD. Okay. So now, if we want to find slope, actually it is clear. Slope of velocity time graph gives acceleration of the model. So how it gives acceleration, that we can decide here. So slope means perpendicular by base in this right angle triangle. So how to find slope? BD by AD. And BD we can write V minus U, and AD is similar to this OE, so that is T. V minus U by T. What is A? So that means slope is nothing. Slope is actually slope of velocity time graph is acceleration of the body. Slope of velocity time graph gives acceleration. This is very important. So whenever the graph question is there and we have to find acceleration, we can get slope and we can find acceleration. So we say that slope of velocity time graph is acceleration because b minus u by t is a. So slope is a. So a is nothing. It is slope of velocity time. So sometimes there could be changing acceleration. So at any point, slope, if it is more, what is the meaning slope? In childhood, you have got the slipping on inclined plane. You know, if it is horizontal, AB graph is horizontal, no slipping. Think that this AB is a inclined plane. If inclined plane is horizontal, then no slipping. So how much it is raised from horizontal? That is slope. In trigonometry it is tan theta. And the symbol of slope is m. M is tan theta. But here, that means tan theta means perpendicular BD by AD. Okay. So this we have to take care. While going through the questions solving of motion chapter, we have to consider this very important tool to solve velocity time graph. Velocity time graph gives two information. First information, this is there. Slope of velocity time graph axis. Second information also very important. That area of velocity time graph gives displacement or distance traveled. That we will learn also. So here you can get first equation of motion also. Because if A is equal to B minus U by T, so we can get first equation of motion solved from here. How? First equation of motion, cross multiplication, AT, B minus U. Minus U, you bring this side. So this is actually first equation of motion. B is equal to U plus AT. Very important. B is equal to U plus AT is first equation of motion. But first equation of motion to solve numerical problem, like there could be a question. A car was moving with velocity 40 km per hour, and in 5 seconds its velocity becomes 80 km per hour. So find the acceleration produced by engine of the car. We can use this formula to solve. Actually, when we are talking about acceleration, something more we should know about acceleration. Acceleration is a vector quantity. Acceleration is a vector quantity. So there could be positive acceleration or negative acceleration. When the acceleration is said to be positive acceleration, you see this case. Here the vehicle was moving from your left to right. So this direction of motion is taken positive. So direction of motion is taken positive. So if any acceleration is acting in the direction of motion, what will be the physical sense? Physical sense will velocity will be increased. Then in that case, we can say that it is positive acceleration. But if the acceleration is acting against the direction of motion, it could act like this. Okay, so acceleration in the direction of motion, positive. Acceleration opposite to direction of motion, it is negative. So that is very important. Opposite to direction of motion, it is negative, and in the direction of motion, it is positive. So what this negative acceleration will do? Negative acceleration. This negative acceleration will decrease the velocity. Okay, negative acceleration will decrease the velocity. And what the positive acceleration will do? Positive acceleration will increase the velocity. दरवाजा खोल दो दरवाजा. So this two aspect of acceleration is very important. Positive acceleration will increase the velocity. Negative acceleration, then when we apply brakes are applied, that produces negative acceleration. That is also known as retardation or deceleration. So when we are talking about acceleration, so acceleration two types: positive acceleration and negative acceleration. Positive acceleration and negative acceleration. So positive acceleration will increase the velocity. Negative acceleration is also known as retardation. So when acceleration is acting against the direction of motion, then negative. In the direction of motion, then positive. These two are very important parts. When direction of acceleration is in the direction of thought, is opposite to direction of motion. When direction of acceleration is opposite to direction of motion, then negative acceleration. It will decrease the velocity. Magnitude of velocity will decrease. Just opposite, positive. When direction of acceleration is in the direction of motion, then positive acceleration. These two differences you should always keep in mind whenever you are solving numericals, because acceleration is a vector quantity. That is very important. Acceleration is a vector. Vector quantity means which has direction. So acceleration is a very important physical quantity. How acceleration is produced? Newton's second law of motion says that acceleration could be produced with the help of force. F is equal to m into F is equal to m into Newton's second law of motion. So the direction of force decides the nature of acceleration. If direction of force is in the direction of motion, then positive acceleration. Just like you can take the example. If a cyclist is moving from left to right and wind is just oppositely directed, so it will decrease the velocity of cyclist. So what the wind is doing? Wind is applying negative force, opposite direction of motion. So this type of force produces negative acceleration, retardation, and velocity will be decreased. But if wind is blowing from left to right and cyclist is also moving from left to right, this is a common experience. This happens. You might have observed many times. and that results in positive acceleration, or it will increase your velocity. This is a common sense approach, but we are getting this from Newton's second law of motion. That is very important, we should consider. Also one thing, SI unit of acceleration. SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. From where it comes? Meter per second square. कहाँ से आता है? तो देखो, अगर ये फॉर्मूला देखें एक्सीलरेशन का, तो यहाँ पर v माइनस यू बाई टी, v मीन्स वेलोसिटी, इसका तो मीटर पर सेकंड होता है. इनिशियल वेलोसिटी का मीटर पर सेकंड माइनस मीटर पर सेकंड इज मीटर पर सेकंड बाई टाइम सेकंड. सो मीटर पर सेकंड बाई सेकंड. तो इफ यू हैव टू फाइंड मीटर पर सेकंड बाई सेकंड, so that is meter per second square. So that is SI unit of acceleration. SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Okay students, for today we have to keep here, and we will again resume ourselves to solve some numerical problem, and we will derive some three equations of motion also. Okay students, thank you.